Randy has gone to the grocery store, so while he's out, I went through the cupboards really quickly to find a few things that I'm ready to let go of. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Melinda, plain and simple. I also had a couple of things in my little niggles box, including this shirt. I bought this a couple of years ago at the thrift store. I mostly wore it just as like a jacket to wear around the house, just to on the chilly days. The buttons are falling off and it's getting a little bit worn out, and so I'm not going to take the time to sew the buttons back on since it's already kind of worn out. And so I'm ready to let that go. And I also had a little bit of mail. This was one of those insert papers that I didn't need any of the information on that, so I'm going to let that go. And the envelopes, so those came from my little niggles box. The rest of this came from my kitchen, including these little packets of Parmesan cheese. A couple of weeks or so ago, I decluttered some of those little packets with the peppers, red peppers or whatever that you can sprinkle on your pizza and that sort of thing. We don't use that stuff, but I thought, well, maybe we'll use the Parmesan, so I just kept it a little longer. But we haven't used any, and the date is from June of 2023. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and let those go too. And then in the bread drawer, I found, as usual, some bread ties. So I'm going to let those go. I keep about half a dozen in our utility drawer in case we need to grab one or two out. But anything else beyond that, I just go ahead and declutter it now. I used to keep them all. Now I just let them go. And then I have these Tootsie Rolls, and I'm sort of decluttering these. Randy bought these for me, but he didn't realize that I had stopped eating sugar. And so I'm not going to be eating them, and since Halloween is coming up, I decided to go ahead and hand these out as the trick-or-treat candy, or at least part of the trick-or-treat candy. We usually get, quite a few kids around here, so I'm sort of decluttering it. Randy bought them for me, but I'm not going to eat them. I would have had to find some way to let them go. It just happens that Halloween is coming up, so that's perfect. And then I also had a couple of empty water bottles. I don't know why these were still sitting here, but they were, so that's why I put them in this, because they were still sitting here in my kitchen for whatever reason, being clutter. So now they're going to go. And I also have some bags. These are like from the grocery store and that sort of thing. And we use these types of bags. We use them for kitty litter. When we clean that out, we use it for our trash, to line the trash cans. So we do use these. We repurpose them and give them a way to be used. But we don't need this many. And so whenever I get a surplus, I just go ahead and Randy takes, every once in a while, he takes some to a place where you're supposed to take them to be recycled the proper way. And so I'm going to put these with the ones that Randy will take away. So those are going to be going. And then I also had several cans of soup. And one of these is beyond its date. But the reason I'm letting them go is because I don't feel good when I eat them. And so we bought them a few months ago just to, like in the winter, you never know when you're going to have a time when when you can't get to the store or whatever. And so we wanted to have a little bit of food on hand just for that. We don't keep a lot, but we wanted to keep a little bit. And, and with the way everything is right now, we wanted to just make sure we had a little bit of something on hand. Randy doesn't eat this. So these were all just for me. And, but I'm not going to be able to eat them. So I decided to just go ahead and declutter them. I have a couple of options. I could see if somebody in my family wants them. I can post them on Buy Nothing, or I can take them to a food pantry. I'm probably going to take them to a food pantry because I know right now a lot of people are kind of struggling. The prices are kind of high. And with the holidays coming up, there could be people who might want to use this with their holiday cooking, with Thanksgiving and Christmas and all. Plus also the food pantries are probably needing donations right now. So that's probably what I'm going to do with the 6 that are still, they're not past their date. The other one, I'll probably see if anybody wants it or maybe post it on Buy Nothing. And so that way, all of that, none of that's going to go to waste. And then I have this bag, and this is from our cat food. PJ has to have the prescription kind. They both eat it. Both of our cats eat it. It's safe for both of them to eat, and actually, Pumpkin's actually doing better on this food as well. So we have to buy this stuff, and so I had bought these jars, and I was decanting them because that made it easier for us when we fed them to just go ahead and have it in the jars. And instead of having to open this bag up and get the scooper and all that stuff, it was just much easier to do it this way. But I read something that said it's actually better to not decant the prescription cat food because it could become contaminated, and I guess it stays fresher in the bag. And so I thought it was staying fresh, but I wasn't the one eating it. So I don't know about that part. But I didn't want the food becoming contaminated in any way, even though I washed the jars out between. You know, I don't want to take that chance. It's very expensive, and I don't want the cat being sick because I wanted to decant my cat food. You know, I'm not going to be lazy for my cat's sake, you know what I mean? And so I decided that I'm going to go ahead and declutter. There's 13 jars here. I'm going to declutter these. I had 5 that have a bigger mouth. These had the smaller mouth. I have 5 that have the larger mouth. Those are easier to wash if you have to wash by hand. And so I decided to keep those 5 in case we need a big jar. Keep those a little bit longer, but I'm going to go ahead and let these go because maybe somebody else can put them to use. You can see how much space that they took up. And I haven't used them for several months, and we have not found another way to put them to use. So I think it's time to go ahead and let them go. And I'm also going to be decluttering this bag. The reason that I have this particular bag is because sometimes when we call to reorder the food, that the person would ask us, well, which one is it? And so I decided to hang on to whichever was the last bag, and then I could run in here and grab it, and then I would have it right in front of me, and I could tell them exactly what information they needed to know. But since I'm not decanting it anymore, the food stays in the bag that it came in. So I can go ahead and declutter that. So that cleared out a whole shelf almost in my, the bottom shelf in my Lazy Susan. That took up almost that whole space. And so all of that is cleared out now, so I feel much better about that. So if you decluttered anything along with me today, let me know down in the comments. And until next time, happy decluttering.